The human ship Vanguard was the first of its kind to leave Earth on a mission that many believed was impossible. Captain Alara Voss stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the endless black of space, the stars blinking like distant fireflies. Beside her, First Officer Marcus Hale double-checked the navigation charts, while Lyra Quinn, the ship's engineer, monitored the energy cores, making sure every system was ready for what lay ahead. Dr. Soren Vale, the science officer, examined alien sensor data from previous encounters, quietly noting weaknesses that humans could exploit. No one else in the galaxy believed a single human ship could survive such a dangerous journey. The Zyphar Dominion, a massive alien coalition known for crushing entire fleets, watched from a distance, dismissing Earth's efforts as insignificant. Rumors spread across the galactic news hubs, and other species laughed at the audacity of sending only one ship into a heavily contested sector. Yet inside the Vanguard, laughter did not exist, only focus, courage, and determination. The crew moved with calm precision, a rhythm born from years of training and preparation. Alara's voice was steady as she gave commands, each one measured, each one purposeful. They knew that a single mistake could destroy them instantly, yet fear did not rule their hearts. It fueled their determination instead. Every member of the crew understood that humans had survived against impossible odds before, and they would do it again. The ship's engines hummed softly, a constant reminder of the power harnessed within the sleek silver hull. The Vanguard was small compared to alien warships, but it was fast, nimble, and filled with advanced human engineering. Lyra Quinn smiled faintly as she adjusted the shields, knowing that even a small ship could survive if it moved smarter than its enemies. Every panel, every wire, every console had been checked and rechecked countless times, leaving nothing to chance. Outside, the stars streaked past as the ship accelerated into unknown regions. Alara felt the weight of responsibility pressing on her shoulders, but she welcomed it. She thought of Earth, of the billions counting on them, of the pride of humanity carried in this small vessel. No alien race had faced humans alone before, and they would soon learn that courage and strategy could be more powerful than fleets. The bridge was filled with a quiet energy, the kind that precedes great events. Marcus Hale tapped on the tactical display, mapping possible enemy positions. Soren Vale cross-checked sensor readings, making predictions that would allow the humans to act before the aliens even realized they were threatened. Lyra adjusted the energy flux in the shields, preparing for attacks that might come without warning. As the Vanguard passed through the outer borders of known space, stars gave way to empty black, dotted with occasional asteroids. Alara walked slowly across the bridge, touching the railings as if grounding herself in reality. She addressed the crew, not with fear, but with quiet confidence, reminding them of why they were here and what they represented. Humans may be small in the galaxy, she thought, but they were resilient, clever, and unstoppable when united. The alien observers in the Zyphar Dominion did not see what the humans saw. They only saw one ship, a fragile human vessel, daring to enter the most dangerous part of the galaxy alone. But the humans saw possibility. They saw strategy. They saw the opportunity to prove to the galaxy that one ship, one crew, and one species could change the balance of power. Hours passed as the ship moved further into contested space, each system check confirming the ship's readiness. The crew shared small smiles, brief moments of camaraderie amidst tension. They joked quietly about alien fleets and their arrogance, though the humor was light and fleeting. Their bond, forged through training and trust, was unbreakable, and it would be the key to surviving what was to come. As the Vanguard neared the contested star system of Rixel 9, the first signs of alien activity appeared on the sensors. Alara's hands rested lightly on the control panel, her eyes sharp and focused. She knew the real test was about to begin, the moment when humans would face the galaxy's disbelief directly. The crew held their positions, ready to demonstrate that courage, intelligence, and unity could turn the smallest ship into the most powerful force the galaxy had ever seen. No one else believed in them, and that was exactly the advantage they needed. Humans thrived when underestimated, and the Vanguard was ready to show the galaxy just how dangerous a single human ship could be. Vanguard approached the contested star system Rixel 9, a region known for its turbulent gravity fields and dense asteroid belts. Sensors immediately picked up dozens of Zyphar Dominion warships moving in formation, including the massive flagship Oblivion and battlecruisers like Dreadfang, Void Reaper, and Night Talon. General Kael'rith commanded the fleet from Oblivion, his eyes cold and calculating as he observed the lone human ship. He could not believe that one small vessel would dare enter this heavily guarded sector. Yet here it was, gliding steadily through the void. Captain Alara Voss stood at the bridge of Vanguard, her calm presence grounding the crew. First Officer Marcus Hale tapped rapidly on the tactical display, calculating enemy positions and plotting evasive paths through the asteroid field. Lyra Quinn adjusted the energy shields to counter multiple angles of attack, running simulations in real time. Dr. Soren Vale monitored alien communications, searching for weaknesses in formation and command signals that humans could exploit. The Zyphar Dominion fleet moved to encircle the human ship, confident in their overwhelming firepower. Kael'rith sent a direct message to Vanguard, a warning laden with arrogance and veiled threats. Alara responded with a simple, calm statement, refusing to back down. The alien commanders laughed, certain that the human crew's courage would end in destruction. As the fleet closed in, the humans demonstrated their first advantage, speed and unpredictability. Vanguard darted between asteroid clusters with astonishing agility, avoiding scanning beams and long-range cannons. Marcus guided the ship through twists and turns that the aliens' massive vessels could not follow. Every move was precise, combining strategy with instinct, a balance no alien ship could match. The Zyphar Dominion fleet attempted a coordinated attack, firing volleys of plasma energy toward the human ship. Lyra redirected shield energy dynamically, absorbing the attacks and minimizing damage. Soren tracked the energy patterns, identifying openings for counterstrikes. Alara gave a quiet command, and Vanguard launched small, intelligent drones that disrupted enemy targeting systems. For the first time, General Kael'rith's confidence wavered. His fleet, used to unchallenged dominance, struggled to adapt to a ship that moved and reacted unpredictably. The humans' tactics were unlike anything the Zyphar had seen, combining improvisation with carefully calculated maneuvers. Even the massive flagship Oblivion found its firing angles disrupted by the humans' clever use of the asteroid field. As the engagement continued, Vanguard executed maneuvers that seemed impossible, weaving through gaps that appeared too small for even their own ship. Marcus coordinated these movements with quiet precision, communicating with Alara and Lyra in a language of numbers, gestures, and instinct. The alien fleet attempted to predict human actions, but every pattern was broken before it could form. Every attack the Zyphar planned was countered in seconds, leaving their commanders frustrated and alarmed. On the bridge of Vanguard, the crew worked in seamless harmony, their focus absolute. Alara observed every enemy vessel through sensors and visual scanners, anticipating movements before they happened. Lyra monitored shield integrity and energy levels, reallocating power instantly to where it was needed most. Soren analyzed alien communications, predicting fleet strategies and informing Alara of the best responses. Hours passed as the humans demonstrated that one ship could hold its ground against a massive fleet. The Zyphar Dominion began to retreat in smaller groups, realizing that Vanguard was no ordinary opponent. Kael'rith gritted his teeth in frustration, his pride wounded by the audacity and effectiveness of the human crew. The galaxy, through intercepted messages and communications, started to take note that humans were not to be underestimated. As Vanguard continued its path through Rexel 9, the crew remained alert, knowing the danger was far from over. They had proven that speed, intelligence, and creativity could overcome overwhelming numbers. The humans' courage inspired confidence within the crew and sent ripples of fear through the Zyphar Dominion. The battle was just the beginning, and the galaxy would soon realize that a single human ship could change the balance of power forever. Every crew member understood their roles, their unity making them stronger than the sum of their parts. The Vanguard glided onward, leaving behind a stunned alien fleet and a galaxy starting to recognize the extraordinary potential of humanity. Alara's voice remained steady, a quiet reminder that the real journey was only beginning. And as the ship moved deeper into the contested system, humans proved once again that courage, strategy, and determination could triumph against the greatest odds. The Zyphar Dominion fleet erupted in a sudden barrage of energy fire, confident that the lone human ship, Vanguard, would be destroyed within moments. Bright plasma beams and blazing torpedoes cut across the void, aimed directly at the small human vessel. Yet it moved with astonishing speed and precision, weaving between attacks like a living shadow. Captain Alara Voss stood firmly on the bridge, her eyes sharp, issuing calm, exact commands, each one designed to maximize the ship's agility and minimize risk. First Officer Marcus Hale adjusted navigation with microcalculations, plotting complex trajectories through asteroid clusters and gravity distortions to evade the deadly strikes. Lyra Quinn monitored the ship's shields, her fingers dancing across the console, redirecting power instantly to absorb hits and repair micro-damages. The shields glowed and flickered under the relentless bombardment. Yet each pulse of energy passed harmlessly through the protective layers. Dr. Soren Vale studied the patterns of Zyphar weapon fire, predicting their timing and velocity, allowing the humans to respond before the enemy even fired again. Every crew member moved in perfect harmony, their training and trust transforming chaos into an orchestrated dance of survival. The Zyphar fleet had never faced such unpredictability. The Vanguard darted between asteroids and debris fields, using the environment as a shield and trap. Small drones deployed from the ship disrupted enemy targeting systems, creating false images and signals that confused the massive fleet. Energy blasts ricocheted off rocks and shields, striking Zyphar ships and causing disorder among their ranks. The flagship Oblivion roared as it fired, unleashing massive volleys designed to obliterate the human ship. Alara calculated each movement precisely, guiding Marcus to adjust the ship's velocity in split-second micro-adjustments. Lyra boosted the shields in vulnerable areas, while Soren fed predictive data into the ship's AI, allowing it to anticipate and counter enemy maneuvers instantly. Within minutes, several enemy vessels were disabled or forced to retreat, their formations breaking under the humans' clever use of the battlefield. General Kaelrith watched from the Oblivion, his expression darkening, disbelief and anger rising as his fleet failed to overwhelm the small ship. Orders were shouted, commands repeated, but the humans stayed one step ahead, exploiting gaps in coordination and misjudgments of alien tactics. The more they attacked, the more chaotic the Zyphar fleet became. The humans' ability to combine quick thinking, intuition, and precision left even seasoned alien commanders stunned. Alara saw an opportunity to push further. She directed the Vanguard into daring maneuvers, skimming close to massive asteroids to draw fire, then accelerating in sudden bursts that alien ships could not follow. Marcus coordinated every adjustment in thrust and trajectory, keeping the ship safe while maximizing damage potential to the enemy. Lyra constantly reallocated energy to shields and engines, keeping the ship nimble and resilient. Soren's sensor jammers created phantom ships and confusing signals, making the Vanguard appear in multiple places at once. The battle intensified as hours passed, yet the humans remained calm, their focus absolute. They executed coordinated strikes that disabled several enemy vessels while avoiding serious damage themselves. Alara guided the crew through each maneuver with steady authority, every action precise and intentional. The crew's courage and unity turned what seemed like a suicide mission into a display of human brilliance. Kaelrith's frustration grew, his pride wounded, as he realized brute force alone could not defeat these humans. The fleet began to fracture, some ships retreating to reassess strategy, others firing haphazardly in panic. Even the flagship Oblivion took hits that disrupted its weapon systems, forcing the general to pull back temporarily. The Zyphar Dominion had underestimated humans, and it was becoming painfully clear that their arrogance was their greatest weakness. Vanguard moved through Rixel 9, its crew aware that the first real test had been survived, yet more challenges awaited. The humans' skill and courage had proven that one ship with the right crew could face an entire fleet and survive. Brief smiles and nods were exchanged on the bridge, small reminders of camaraderie amid danger. The crew's unity, adaptability, and bravery had sent a clear message. Humans were not to be underestimated. The battle ended not with victory in numbers, but with proof of strategy, ingenuity, and resilience. The human crew had turned fear into strength and danger into opportunity. As the Vanguard continued deeper into contested space, the galaxy began to notice that a single human ship could defy expectations. And with every decision and maneuver, humans showed that courage and intelligence could triumph over the greatest odds. The humans aboard the Vanguard were proving that their greatest strength was not just their technology, but their ingenuity and creativity. Captain Alara Voss watched the battle unfold, calmly assessing every move of the Zyphar Dominion fleet. Every ship in the enemy formation moved with precision, yet none could anticipate the humans' next maneuver. First Officer Marcus Hale directed the ship through complex paths between asteroids, gravity wells, and debris. Turning the environment itself into a weapon, Lyra Quinn adjusted the energy shields constantly, diverting power where it was most needed. The shields absorbed attacks that would have destroyed any ordinary vessel. Dr. Soren Vale monitored alien communications, analyzing commands and patterns, predicting their tactics before they could be executed. The crew worked in perfect synchronization, each member understanding the other's thoughts and actions instinctively. The Zyphar Dominion had never faced a foe that combined intelligence, agility, and unpredictability so effectively. The Vanguard twisted and darted through the battlefield, appearing in places the enemy believed impossible. Drones deployed from the ship interfered with targeting sensors, creating illusions of multiple ships where only one existed. Energy blasts missed, ricocheted, or struck other enemy vessels, further disorganizing the fleet. The humans' asymmetric tactics shocked the Zyphar commanders, who had relied on brute force and overwhelming numbers. Alara instructed Marcus to perform a daring loop maneuver around a cluster of massive asteroids. Lyra simultaneously boosted the engine's output to achieve acceleration beyond what the aliens believed possible. Soren fed real-time sensor data to the AI, allowing the ship to anticipate attacks and react faster than any alien system. Each action the humans took was unexpected, every response precise and calculated. Even the massive flagship Oblivion could not predict their movements, its massive guns firing at empty space while the Vanguard slipped safely through gaps. Smaller cruisers and battlecraft like Dreadfang, Void Reaper, and Night Talon were picked off or disabled without warning. The humans' ability to improvise under pressure turned fear into advantage, making the alien fleet uncertain and hesitant. Hours passed as the humans maintained a relentless pace, showing no sign of fear or fatigue. Alara remained calm, her voice steady as she directed the crew. Marcus coordinated maneuvers with split-second timing, keeping the ship safe while maximizing disruption to enemy formations. Lyra managed power distribution flawlessly, allowing shields and weapons to operate at peak efficiency. Soren's predictive calculations allowed the humans to exploit weaknesses in enemy formations. The Zyphar ships struggled to regroup, their confidence shaken. Every attack they launched was countered in ways they had never seen. The Vanguard moved like a living organism, anticipating and adapting faster than the aliens could react. General Kael'rith's frustration grew, his anger evident as he realized that the humans were not just surviving, they were dominating the battlefield. The Zyphar fleet began to break apart, smaller groups retreating, unsure how to continue the fight against a single, unpredictable ship. Even the flagship Oblivion had taken hits that disrupted targeting systems, forcing the general to rethink his approach. The humans' creativity and courage had turned their vulnerability into a weapon, and their small size into an advantage. As the Vanguard moved further into Rixel 9, the crew shared brief smiles and nods, subtle acknowledgments of their unity and trust. They knew the real battle was just beginning, but for now, they had proven that humans could defy impossible odds. The galaxy would soon realize that human ingenuity was a force more dangerous than sheer numbers or advanced weaponry. Every decision, every maneuver, and every calculated risk reinforced the truth. Humans were unpredictable, adaptable, and capable of turning any situation to their advantage. The humans continued their daring maneuvers, using their speed, intelligence, and creativity to keep the enemy off balance. The Zyphar Dominion, despite its massive fleet and powerful technology, was learning a lesson it had never faced before. One ship, guided by courage, strategy, and ingenuity, could challenge the might of an entire empire. And the crew of the Vanguard was determined to show the galaxy that underestimating humans was a mistake no one could afford to make. Every moment on the bridge reflected focus, teamwork, and brilliance. Alara, Marcus, Lyra, and Soren moved as one, a single unit, perfectly synchronized. The Vanguard had transformed from a small vessel into a symbol of human power. And with each maneuver, the humans demonstrated that intelligence, creativity, and courage could overcome any enemy, no matter how powerful or numerous. News of the human ship Vanguard's incredible performance spread across the galaxy, reaching star systems far beyond Rexel 9. Alien species that had never taken humans seriously now whispered their names with caution and awe. Reports from the neutral trading hub Orion Nexus detailed how one small vessel had outmaneuvered the massive Zyphar Dominion fleet. Galactic factions from the Valari Ascendancy to the Kryn Marauders began reassessing their opinions, realizing that humans were unpredictable and far more capable than anyone had assumed. Captain Alara Voss and her crew continued their journey through contested space, fully aware that their actions were creating ripples across the galaxy. First Officer Marcus Hale monitored long-range communications, picking up transmissions from alien fleets discussing their encounter with Vanguard. Lyra Quinn ensured the ship remained fully operational. Knowing that their visibility in the galaxy had made them a target for envy and curiosity, Dr. Soren Vale analyzed intercepted data, calculating how the humans' actions could influence political and military decisions far beyond the immediate battle zone. The Zyphar Dominion fleet had retreated, but their shock lingered. General Kael'rith's pride had been wounded, and he could not understand how a single ship had caused so much damage and confusion. Reports from the battlefield described humans using tactics that combined instinct, logic, and daring in ways no alien species could comprehend. Even minor victories by the Vanguard had become legendary stories broadcast across communication networks, inspiring fear and respect alike. Humans, small in number and ship size, were proving that unity and creativity could outweigh raw numbers and firepower. Alara's crew felt a quiet pride, knowing their skill and courage were making the galaxy take notice. Every maneuver and decision they had made contributed to a growing legend. Their work on the bridge was methodical, precise, and relentless, as they knew the more attention they attracted, the more challenges would follow. The galaxy began to change its perception of humans, once considered fragile and technologically inferior. Reports from Orion Nexus described stunned alien commanders comparing notes, trying to understand how humans could consistently outthink much larger fleets. Even distant observers from the Valari Ascendancy debated alliances and strategies, weighing whether humans could be allies, threats, or both. The humans had become a symbol, proof that courage and intelligence could achieve what no one thought possible. Within the Vanguard, the crew remained focused despite the growing recognition. Marcus mapped safe paths through the contested regions. Anticipating possible ambushes from alien factions eager to test humans themselves, Lyra recalibrated shields and engines, ensuring the ship remained nimble and ready for unexpected encounters. Soren analyzed sensor data constantly, predicting how news of their victories might provoke challenges from other species or empires. As the Vanguard continued, minor skirmishes occurred with scouts and rogue ships, but humans handled each with the same skill and precision. Each encounter reinforced their reputation, making the galaxy realize that humans were not just lucky, they were smart, resourceful, and disciplined. Alara guided the crew with quiet confidence, knowing that maintaining composure and strategy was key to surviving in a galaxy now alert to their abilities. Every decision, from small maneuvers to major tactical choices, reflected humans' unique ability to adapt and thrive in dangerous situations. The ripple effect of Vanguard's actions reached political and military networks across countless systems. Alien commanders convened to discuss the unpredictable humans, realizing that any future encounters would require more than brute force. The humans' performance in Rexel 9 became a case study in strategy, courage, and adaptability, shared secretly among galactic fleets. Even species that had once dismissed Earth now spoke of humans with respect and caution, aware that underestimating them could be disastrous. On the bridge, the crew shared quiet moments of recognition, small smiles and nods as they acknowledged the weight of their actions. They had not sought fame, but the galaxy had taken notice anyway. Alara reminded the crew that this attention was both a challenge and an opportunity. The Vanguard's legend was only beginning, and humans were proving that even a single ship, guided by courage and intelligence, could change the galaxy's understanding of power. Every star system they passed carried whispers of human ingenuity. Every fleet that heard of their success reconsidered its assumptions about what humans could accomplish. The crew's unity, adaptability, and bravery were the true weapons, far more dangerous than any fleet or advanced technology. And as Vanguard moved deeper into contested space, the humans' actions continued to reshape the galaxy's perception of a species once underestimated, proving that courage, skill, and strategy could overcome any odds. The Vanguard moved deeper into the star system, Rixel 9, its small silhouette cutting through the void with silent confidence. Captain Elara Voss stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the distant reaches of space, searching for any signs of enemy movement or hidden threats. First Officer Marcus Hale adjusted navigation, carefully plotting paths through asteroid fields and unstable energy pockets. Lyra Quinn monitored the ship's systems, making precise adjustments to engines and shields to maximize agility and resilience. Dr. Soren Vale studied alien communication patterns and energy emissions, analyzing every bit of data to anticipate potential dangers. The humans aboard the Vanguard had learned that raw power alone could not ensure survival. Every maneuver, every calculation, and every adjustment combined technology with human instinct. They had turned the ship into a living weapon, capable of adapting to any situation, no matter how deadly. The Zyphar Dominion had retreated temporarily, but the humans knew their presence had attracted attention. Galactic fleets beyond the Shattered Veil were already discussing the humans' capabilities. Even the Valari Ascendancy, known for their caution and intelligence, began to see humans as a species to respect. The Vanguard's actions had made clear that humans relied on more than just firepower. They relied on adaptability and strategy. Elara directed Marcus to adjust the ship's trajectory, using gravitational anomalies and asteroid clusters to create unpredictable movements. Lyra balanced shield strength and engine output, ensuring the ship could survive intense energy bursts or sudden collisions. Soren fed sensor data into the ship's AI, allowing it to predict and react to enemy attacks faster than any alien system could. The combination of human intuition and adaptive technology gave Vanguard an advantage that no fleet could anticipate. As they approached the outer sectors of Rexel 9, faint signals of alien scouts appeared. The humans moved carefully, using decoy drones to mislead the sensors and create false images of the ship's location. Enemy ships fired blindly at phantom targets while Vanguard passed safely through narrow asteroid corridors. Every maneuver demonstrated the humans' ability to turn environmental hazards into tactical advantages. The crew worked in perfect harmony, each action complementing the others. Alara's calm commands guided Marcus's navigation and Lyra's energy management with precise timing. Soren's analysis predicted enemy strategies before they could even react. The ship moved as a single unit, every system and person operating in perfect synchronization. The Zyphar Dominion, observing from afar, could only guess at the humans' capabilities. Even their advanced sensors and predictive algorithms failed to anticipate the humans' decisions. Each successful maneuver reinforced the growing legend of the Vanguard. Every intercepted report spread tales of one small human ship outsmarting fleets far larger and stronger. Hours passed as the humans navigated the treacherous sectors, constantly adapting to unexpected threats. They encountered rogue ships and energy storms, but every challenge was met with ingenuity. Marcus adjusted speed and angle to exploit gravitational forces. Lyra recalibrated shields and engines in real time. Soren predicted environmental hazards and potential ambushes, allowing the crew to avoid even the smallest risks. The humans' resilience began to redefine what other species thought was possible. They combined speed, intelligence, and creativity to overcome dangers that would have destroyed conventional fleets. The Vanguard's performance inspired awe among distant observers, sending a message that humans could survive anywhere. Even the most powerful alien empires began to recognize that one ship, guided by human skill and adaptability, could challenge their dominance. Elara reminded her crew to stay focused, knowing that fame or recognition could never replace caution and strategy. The humans' actions were a proof of their potential, but the real advantage lay in their unity and problem-solving abilities. The Vanguard had become more than a ship. It was a symbol of human ingenuity and courage. As they continued deeper into contested space, every decision reinforced the lesson. Humans were unpredictable, intelligent, and capable of turning every challenge into opportunity. The galaxy, watching through intercepted signals and reports, slowly began to understand humans relied on far more than numbers or technology. They relied on creativity, strategy, and the ability to adapt instantly. And aboard the Vanguard, the crew moved as one, ready to face whatever the galaxy would throw at them next. Demonstrating that human potential, when combined with courage and unity, could surpass even the greatest forces in the stars. The Zyphar Dominion, humiliated by repeated failures against the lone human ship Vanguard, gathered all their scattered fleets for a final assault. General Kael'rith, his pride wounded and anger burning, commanded the combined armada to crush the humans once and for all. Massive cruisers, battle cruisers, and fighters advanced in perfect formation, their weapon systems glowing with deadly energy. From the flagship Oblivion, Kael'rith watched closely. Confident that sheer numbers would overwhelm the small human vessel, Captain Alara Voss remained calm on the bridge of Vanguard, her eyes sharp and calculating. She studied the enemy formations, predicting their movements and identifying the weaknesses they could exploit. First Officer Marcus Hale plotted intricate maneuvers through the asteroid clusters and unstable star debris. Lyra Quinn monitored the energy distribution to shields and engines, ensuring maximum agility and defense. Dr. Soren Vale analyzed communications and sensor data from the alien fleet, mapping their strategy in real time. Every member of the crew knew that this was the most dangerous encounter yet. Yet there was no fear on the bridge, only focus, determination, and confidence in their own abilities. Humans had survived impossible situations before, and they would do it again with intelligence and courage. As the Zyphar fleet advanced, Alara enacted a daring plan, luring them toward an unstable star cluster in Rexel 9. The dense cluster created chaotic gravitational waves, making precise navigation difficult for even the most advanced ships. Marcus guided the Vanguard through the hazards with perfect timing, weaving between massive energy surges and asteroid debris. Lyra adjusted shields and engines simultaneously, ensuring the ship remained intact while moving at impossible speeds. The aliens, focused on the human ship, failed to notice the dangers of the star cluster. Vanguard used the environment as a weapon, drawing enemy ships into positions where their own weapons and collisions caused damage. Dr. Soren deployed sensor jammers and decoy drones, creating false targets that distracted the fleet. Enemy formations broke apart as ships collided, fired upon each other accidentally, or miscalculated their maneuvers. The humans struck at the most vulnerable points in the fleet, disabling cruisers and battlecraft with precision. Every attack was carefully calculated, exploiting weaknesses discovered during previous skirmishes. The flagship Oblivion fired relentlessly, but its energy blasts were redirected by clever maneuvers and the chaotic environment. Even the most powerful ships of the Zyphar Dominion suffered damage while the Vanguard remained unscathed. Kael'rith watched in disbelief, unable to understand how one small ship could defy his entire fleet. His pride and strategy were crumbling under the humans' ingenuity. Attempts to reorganize and attack simultaneously failed, leaving his ships scattered and vulnerable. The humans' adaptability and skill had turned the galaxy's most feared fleet into a disordered, retreating force. Alara and her crew executed every movement with perfect synchronization. Marcus managed navigation through the cluster's deadly gravitational fields. Lyra distributed energy between shields, engines, and weapons to maintain peak efficiency. Soren predicted enemy corrections before they could be made, giving the humans a constant tactical edge. As the battle reached its climax, the Zyphar fleet was in retreat. Ships fled from the unstable cluster, damaged or disabled, while the Vanguard moved through the chaos with remarkable precision. Even the flagship Oblivion withdrew, battered and unable to continue the attack. General Kael'rith realized that brute force alone could not defeat humans, and that intelligence, creativity, and courage were more dangerous than he had ever imagined. The crew of Vanguard shared quiet smiles and nods, aware of what they had accomplished. They had turned what seemed like certain destruction into a victory of strategy and skill. The galaxy had witnessed a single human ship hold its own against an entire armada. The humans had proven that courage, ingenuity, and adaptability could overcome overwhelming numbers and power. As the Vanguard moved out of the star cluster, the crew remained vigilant, knowing that other challenges awaited. Their reputation now spread far and wide, striking both fear and respect into the hearts of alien species. Every maneuver, every calculation, and every act of bravery had reinforced the truth. Humans were unpredictable, formidable, and capable of altering the balance of power in the galaxy. And as the Vanguard continued its journey, the crew demonstrated that one human ship, guided by intelligence and courage, could stand against the greatest fleets in the stars. The galaxy was still buzzing from the audacity of the human ship Vanguard. Captain Alara Voss stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the vast emptiness, alert for any signs of new threats. First Officer Marcus Hale adjusted navigation controls, plotting a course through regions where Zyphar fleets were likely to regroup. Lyra Quinn monitored the shields and engines, ensuring the ship remained agile and ready for sudden encounters. Dr. Soren Val studied sensor readings and intercepted communications, analyzing potential strategies other species might use to challenge humans. The crew had learned that surviving the Zyphar Dominion was only the first step. The real challenge was how the galaxy would respond to humans now. Every movement, every decision had consequences far beyond the immediate battlefield. As Vanguard entered the uncharted sectors beyond Rexel 9, strange energy readings appeared on the sensors. Alien scouts from lesser-known species were investigating, curious about the humans' capabilities. Alara ordered caution, knowing that curiosity could quickly turn into hostility. Marcus skillfully maneuvered the ship to avoid detection while keeping sensors active, ready for any surprises. The humans' reputation had spread like wildfire, reaching corners of the galaxy where no human had ever traveled. Even the Valari Ascendancy, known for their strict protocols and cautious approach, began to take notice. Reports described one small vessel, crewed by 4 humans, outsmarting fleets far larger than itself. It was no longer just courage or skill that made the humans remarkable. The galaxy now saw them as a symbol of intelligence and ingenuity. The first real test in the new sector came in the form of a stealth attack by a group of Zyphar scouts. The humans detected their approach through subtle energy fluctuations. Alara calmly directed Marcus to plot evasive maneuvers. Lyra adjusted shields and engines in real time, allowing Vanguard to slip past unseen while keeping energy levels balanced for sudden combat. Dr. Soren Vale predicted the scouts' trajectories and suggested ways to use the environment against them. Asteroid clusters and small gravity wells became tools rather than obstacles. Vanguard dodged through narrow spaces, creating false images and sensor distortions that sent enemy ships firing at nothing. The humans' combination of strategy, intuition, and technology made them nearly impossible to catch. Hours passed as the crew navigated the sector, encountering more alien vessels curious about or seeking to challenge them. Every encounter was handled with precision, skill, and clever improvisation. Alara guided the ship calmly, each order timed perfectly with Marcus's navigation adjustments and Lyra's shield management. Soren continued analyzing communications, predicting enemy reactions before they could happen, giving humans a continuous advantage. Even without fighting, the humans demonstrated their power by moving intelligently and avoiding direct confrontation when unnecessary. The galaxy began to understand that humans were unpredictable, adaptable, and capable of turning any situation to their advantage. Smaller fleets withdrew after witnessing Vanguard's skill, and intelligence reports began circulating about the capabilities of a single human ship. Alara and her crew were becoming living legends, symbols of courage, strategy, and the unpredictable power of humanity. The journey continued deeper into unknown space, every star system a new opportunity or potential threat. Vanguard's crew remained vigilant, knowing that other species might test them to understand humans' limits. Their reputation spread fear and respect, but it also drew curiosity and potential alliances. Humans were no longer underestimated. They were being measured, studied, and in some cases, feared. The bridge of the Vanguard was quiet but tense, each crew member aware of their significance. Alara's calm determination inspired confidence. Marcus's precise calculations ensured survival. Lyra's mastery of the ship's systems kept them agile, and Soren's foresight allowed them to stay several steps ahead of every adversary. They had transformed from a single vessel on a mission into a symbol of humanity's ingenuity and resilience. As the ship moved through previously uncharted sectors, the humans realized the galaxy was watching. Every decision mattered. Every movement sent signals to countless species. The humans' bravery, intelligence, and adaptability had rewritten the rules of engagement for the galaxy. And the Vanguard, small but unstoppable, continued to prove that a single human ship could challenge empires, change perceptions, and shape the future of interstellar power. The crew exchanged subtle smiles, recognizing what they had accomplished. They had survived, outsmarted, and outmaneuvered forces far greater than themselves. The galaxy would never forget the lessons taught by 4 humans aboard a single ship. And with every passing light year, they demonstrated that courage, intelligence, and unity could make one human vessel more powerful than entire fleets.